what's up back? Oh, what the heck? Yo, what's up, Faith Reloaded? We are back with some Theme Thursday, and I'm pumped about it because I get jazzed with this topic. It's a topic of the temple. Now, if you know what the temple is, then fantastic. If you don't, listen up. What the temple was, it was in the Old Testament, and it was the foreshadowing of Jesus and the place where they kept the holies of holies, which was the Ark of the Covenant, which was a symbol of God here on earth. So there's many layers to the temple. Today we're kind of work from the inside out. So whenever Jesus was crucified on the cross, I'm going to read this short little segment of the story of Jesus' crucifixion out of Matthew 27. We're jumping in right here at verse 51. It said, "And behold, the curtain of the temple we were talking about, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom." So the curtain was torn in two from top to bottom. Now, what does that resemble? Like, why is that important? That sounds kind of weird. A curtain was torn, so what? Well, what the curtain was there for, which is such a beautiful, beautiful story. The curtain separated man from God. And the only person that was allowed to go past the curtain was the high priest. And he only went once a year. And you had to be born into the family and then do all these special things before getting into the holies of holies. So the veil, it was separating the holy place from the holies of holies. Now, I, just a regular dude, could not go in there. I couldn't even get into the holies of holies, or the holy place, much less the holies of holies. And before I even entered into the holy of holies, I got to do all these special things, clean myself up, put on certain kind of clothes, and then tie a rope around my leg. And the reason they would tie a rope around your leg, just in case you died while you're in there, they'd drag you out using the rope because they couldn't go in and retrieve the body. That's crazy. Now, upon Jesus' death, the veil was torn from top to bottom, resembling that it was God's doing it. God tore the veil. Now, why is that important? It was the fulfillment of the covenant. What Jesus did, his sacrifice, and that sacrifice, now, me, you, anybody is welcomed to enter in to the holies of holies. All of us are allowed to now go to God because Jesus was the perfect sacrifice that if we believe in him, we are covered by his blood, and now God does not see us in our sin. He sees what his son Jesus Christ did for us, which is now we are seen as pure and holy. We are seen as saints, not sinners. And we are welcomed in to the holies of holies at any time we want to enter into God's presence. We can go because it was torn. We no longer are separated from God's love and God's healing power. We are now able to walk in there freely saying, God, I need you. And we can do that because he tore the veil. Because what Jesus did, he came down, he lived the perfect life, he died a death he did not deserve, and he was the perfect sacrifice. He gave it all so we could get to God. Because without him, you couldn't enter into God's presence. But God wanted you there, so he did what was needed to be done. And as a symbol of that, he tore the veil from top to bottom to say, hey, come on, you're welcomed in. You can come now. You don't have to clean yourself up. You don't have to be a high priest. You yourself, you are welcome. And as we walk through the temple these next few weeks, I hope you learn more about Jesus, more about God, and more about God's plan and how much he desires you in the ways we get to come to God humbly. The veil was torn. What separated us from God is no longer there. So we are welcomed into his presence. And that is so sweet.